Okay, so I want to explain some shit. Again. So I'm going to give you an example of how this works. So when I'm in a house or a building of some sort, and I want to know how to replicate that particular thing, or I need to know how big and how wide or whatever something is, I will take a reference point of an image that I know the measurement of, and internally lay it on top of, because I can see both at the same time, on top of whatever it is I'm measuring, and I'll measure it that way. That's how my brain works for everything. So there's two sets of images. There's the one I'm looking at, and then there's the one that interprets. Either I can use to interpret what's in front of me, or what's in front of me shows up here as a different interpretation. And that's all it is. It's not psychopathy. It's not schizophrenia. I'm aware of what it is. It's not internal voices. It's not. Sometimes it's just patterns that my brain catches and turns into a picture. So when I talk about inside eyes, inside ears, because I have no internal monologue, I'll hear things in my inside ears because there's a pattern that tells me a word, like a song usually, because it's a pattern. That's how I think is patterns, like exclusively. And same with pictures. And I used to be a video analyst, drone warfare specialist, a pattern of life analyst, and I loved working night shift because I loved everything in black and white. Sometimes the only thing that kept you alive was that I saw your shoelaces, because insurgents didn't wear shoelaces. Shit like that. Like, I know what normal looks like. My mind just knows what normal looks like. And then I'll reference the culture in the middle and go, okay, well, that's... And then I'll see it, and I won't know why I've seen it, because I don't know how many times when I was in theater that people looked and went, how did you know that was going to happen? I'd be like, I don't know. I just saw it. And that's how it works. And PTSD was much different for me, like I've said in previous videos, and that you guys don't have access to those, whatever. But they say flashbacks, and I'm like, I didn't understand, because I didn't know that I was different. I thought I was just doing life wrong. I didn't know people thought in voices, like an internal monologue coupled with occasional pictures. I strictly pictures and patterns. So it's very strange to know after things got quiet, life got quiet, and I wasn't busy defending myself or trying to figure out, because I don't understand people, but I understand things, and I understand how things move and what isn't normal for the way things naturally move. That's why I can look at a machine and go, oh, that's how that machine obviously works, in a very simplistic way. And if I was to look at the machine in great detail, I would understand that too, because I'll remember it and I'll figure it out as I go. Because I think in pictures, and that's how my brain works. And that's just the way it is. It's always been that way. From the beginning of my life, the very beginning of my existence. My brother, who's now passed away when I was 5 years old, I don't remember his voice, because I don't remember sounds. But I remember us. He taught me my times tables by singing them off of a record. And I still only know up to my 4 times tables. And I have to sing the song in my head to know those times tables. I am considered dyscalculia to the fucking nth degree, and I can explain that too. Numbers aren't pictures. Numbers are symbols. So I have to attach something to the symbol to make it make sense to me. I can see the number 3. I don't give a shit about 3 what. I can see 3 apples, and all of a sudden in front of my mind's eye, and I'm looking over here, and I can see the apples inside of my head. 1, 2, 3. 3 apples. Geometry and trigonometry, I got that. That was fun. All the other shit, I don't fucking know. If it makes sense to me in a spatial awareness type way, I'll pick it up. And if it doesn't exist for me. So money makes no sense to me. All I know is I want to have a very small life that I don't need much. And the more stuff I have, the more complicated my life is. Because then I have to spend time dusting shit. I don't like collecting. I've only got 2 ex-husbands. Anything more than 2 is a collection. So I don't dust shit off. I don't like to. I like to live my life, or I don't like spending time cleaning things up that really have no business being in my house. To have a picture of something reminds me and triggers a picture up here, and a picture is not just a picture to me, it's a full motion video in high definition where I can point at a particular section on that video and zoom in like a pixel and tell you what's there. And the more I discover the video, the more details arrive. And I can do that with anything that I've seen. And here's some really weird thoughts. And I'll tell you this, okay? Because my body understands patterns, I sometimes I don't know how I know things, because the pattern is so finely fucking detailed. To pick each pixel out would take me an eternity, and I don't give a shit about that most days. The military taught me how to write down how I came to my assessment, and I can do that because they taught me how to write about it, because it's very factual and it's in order, and I can go this is this, and like I'm a bottom up processor, not a top down. That means, and I'll tell you what bottom up versus top down means. Top down is when you have like a narrative or an idea, and then you cherry pick things to fit in that idea, and there your idea is proven. I'm the opposite. I'll see all kinds of patterns, and it'll all coalesce all of a sudden and be like, oh, that's the answer. And then I'll go back and tell you all the things that made that answer real. I start with the answer and I work back. Some people start with the question and work ahead to prove their question/answer, theory, whatever. It's not magical. It's a different cognitive style. It's a very autistic way of living. And a lot of people have it, and they've never been diagnosed because they've recently started pathologizing it. They used to call us angels. Now they call us autistic or neurodivergent or pain in the ass or fucking weirdo, get away from me. Usually it's that. It's patterns. Like there's a pattern. My mother passed away the day before my birthday in 2025. Okay, so February 22nd, 2025, my mother died. And before my mother died, we weren't on speaking terms. And I'll talk about that someday. But I saw my mother in my house, and I didn't know she was dead. And she was talking to me, and I didn't know she was dead. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Because I know it's not real. But I figured out what it is. It's like a frequency that you have access to, I think, if you're really sensitive to your environment. Like most neurodivergent people are. A lot of psychic phenomena, you can go back and say, yeah, you're a little neurosparkly because you're a pattern person. LED lights flicker, okay? They flicker, and sometimes they flicker into a pattern for me. It's weird. And I can explain it. It's very sciencey. It's all about frequency and all that other shit. But that's the weird thing. Fishbowl, again. I had a weird experience. Making lifetime full. But just recently, in December, I'll bring it out. It's really weird. I have this thing also called, what's it called? The name escapes me. Oh, tonic, nervous system tonic shutdown, in where I'll freeze, my body will freeze, and I can't speak, but I can think and see and hear. And it happened a few times. It's happened a lot, but it's okay. I know how to deal with it. Like, I know I've learned so much, re-regulate my nervous system, all that stuff. Cold water and ice, helpful. But I will tell you, or show you actually, what happened, because I heard write this down. So I did. And like I said, I hear stuff. I don't have an inner monologue, so it's, I think, me telling me, this is important, write it down. So I'm going to tell you what happened on the 21st of December, 2025, because I wrote it down. I wrote it down. It says, brain sparkled, fire inside, hard, screaming, no talking, stuttering. I stutter when I'm afraid. And my nervous system goes all fucking, and I fucking stutter. Okay? Had vision of surgeon operating on someone's heart. And I was told, the torturers will be tortured. Someone played the song Tips of My Fingers nearby, as it was the man's last request to hear as he was going to surgery. My tongue, it felt stuck and swollen, and I heard in my inside ears, because I know it's just inside ears. It's just whatever the heck that is. It's a pattern that shows up and translates in whatever the hell translate. It shows up. He stole what made you whole, my daughter. Silence today. Stuttering out loud, can't form words in my mouth, screamed for over 15 minutes, and no sound now. My whole body clenched and shook, sitting up, calm and silenced now. My tongue feels swollen and sore, like someone's fingers are pinching it, clamping on it at the middle. No talking, I can't talk at all. I was told, father is in surgery this morning, he's being prepped for surgery until he dies, you can't speak. And then I said, because this is the pattern that showed up in a picture inside my head. And I know it's not outside of me. It's a pattern that showed up as an image, okay? And this is what it said. An angel removed my tongue, and it rolled up like a scroll in their hands. And they took it away and said, this is what you tried to use for your cross purposes. I trusted you with my daughter. You harmed her. You put her in lack. You left her undignified, surrounded by scofflaws, and harmed for your own purposes. She is mine. Still can't speak at 07:40 a.m. 21 December. Obviously, I can speak now. And I had to look up the word scofflaws. Scofflaws, people not of God, complete disregard of Jesus' teaching, God's holy ordinance. And my father died 7 days later. And no one told me. I looked it up online and saw his obituary. I'm still trying to deal with that. I sang on stage for an awful long time. I couldn't speak, but I could sing. It's probably going to get me reported or put away in a nut house or something, but honestly, I can explain it so logically. I understand. I know nothing about the Bible, by the way, other than I read the New Testament when I was a teenager. And I read the parables, and I'm like, oh, I fucking see that. I get it. And then I got really involved with the church group, which was very social, which I never had before. And I didn't even go to church. But I understand parables because Jesus spoke in pictures. I think they were all neurodivergent, what you call them today. It's just different wording for the same things that we were back then too, and it's the same thing. And I'll talk about remote viewing some other time and that we're living in a soap bubble because I see that shit too and it's the weirdest thing. It's a nervous system, coherence. And I can talk about ignitions and stuff. And that's, you get the sparkle in your chest. I got that when I was 7 and 4 days old, laying in a ditch looking up at the stars, singing what I thought was to God. Ronnie Millsap, almost like a song. And then my chest lit up and warmth all through me. And it did it again when I was 54 and 4 days old. And I think what happens is that sparkle puts you in coherence with the waves all around you. I think that's what it is. Anyway, it's all very crazy and weird and strange and beautiful and wonderful. And oddly enough, I kind of understand it by understanding that I don't understand a damn thing. And I just write it down or draw it, and I look at it and go, oh, fuck. That's what that is. Interesting. And then I go paint some stuff or sing a song or put my dogs outside or live my life. Like, anyway, it's weird, I know. It's very difficult to be around people you can understand why. And if you can't, that's okay too. I don't hate anyone. And I don't know anybody else that would want to be this. I really don't. It is the most painful, most beautiful thing ever. But it's so much more pain than beauty sometimes. There's a reason they lived on the outside edge of town, usually in a cave, in a hole in a fucking rock somewhere. I live in a house. But there was a time I considered moving to the woods. It's quieter. Feels safer. But I don't think I would be. I don't think I'd feel safer. I love having a door that locks. And the heat that I could just click on the wall, change it. That's my dog. It's one of them. This is Lacey. Retired hunting beagle. All my dogs and I have so much in common. I'm a retired hunting dog too. I have Rebel. She's a big fat half corgi, half fucking weirdo. And she's Rebel because she does what she wants when she wants, how she wants it, and don't tell her any different. And I have Maple. She's my little tiny runt of a Boston Terrier. It's got a lot to say, and she'll scream at you and then run inside the house. Don't hurt me. I'm like that too. Not really. But anyway. This is what autism looks like when you wake up one day and you're completely yourself. It's weird knowing things that I didn't know but knew. Anyway, that's all I gotta say for now. Bye.